Well, hello, my... Sorry. Why am I laughing? Well, hello, my rebels, rejects, and weirdos. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm christenareckless, and welcome to another round of You Ask the Questions and I Answer Them. Somewhat, kind of. I think that I explained what we're doing here pretty well in the intro, so without further ado, let's get to it. First question is from T-Bells99. If you were a Pokemon, what types do you think you would be? That's easy. I think that I would be a dark type, a ghost type, and a fairy type. And I think that you can just look at me and agree with that. If you disagree, I would like to know what you think. Leave that in the comments. But I'm pretty sure I'm right, though. I don't think you're gonna disagree. Nav202024 asks, whoa, just kidding. Not Q&A. I'm snitching on my brother. You're his TikTok crush. I appreciate that, Nav. I think that you should tag your brother and let him know that you told me. Slow Mobius C137 asks, what's a movie you can watch over and over and never get tired of? Okay, I have a couple. Imaginarium by Nightwish. They have a soundtrack named Imaginarium, but there's also a movie named Imaginarium. Love it. I also think that Mr. Right with Anna Kendrick in it is a good one. That's another one of my favorite movies. I could watch that all day, every day, all the time. Absolutely. You should check it out. I think that you'd like it. Riley Y. Chewy. Did I say that right? Do you think we can get this deranged MFer out of office? Yes, I think we can. And I think we should. I have so much to say about this topic specifically that I feel like would put me on a watch list if I'm not already there. Like I said, check out my threads if you want to know my opinion on this, because it's a pretty strong opinion. Michael Myers 63 asks, what's a lesser known tattoo on a guy that immediately turns you off or is just a red flag to you? Lesser known? I'm not sure about lesser known. I can tell you the things that I think are red flags. When they have the forest outline, you know, like the negative forest shading around the wrist, absolutely red flag. Also, having a lion on you, red flag. Ex's names, red flag. Oh yeah, if they have the king, like a playing deck of cards, king symbol on them anywhere, red flag. Honestly, even I feel like the stars that they do, like the traditional stars that they do on the elbows or the knees, red flag. There are a lot of tattoo red flags, in my opinion. You could disagree, but that's just how I roll. That is my judgment. I'm not saying everybody with that shit is bad, but to me, it's saying, watch this motherfucker. And that's what I do. Not a big deal to me. BCenter1 says, no, I don't want to be on a YouTube video. Well, too bad. So sad. You knew the terms and conditions when you entered this reply. Have a great day. Everybody welcome Poison. Again, she was having withdrawals from my company, apparently. Weirdo. Rob Showback 88 asks, why are you a feminist and a misandrist? I think it's pretty obvious why I'm a feminist, right? That's pretty fucking obvious. Why am I a misandrist? I'm not. The men that I give hate to clearly deserve it. Clearly. Every single time. I'm confused. Just because I pick these men out for their behavior doesn't mean I hate all men. Right, I don't. I hate a specific type of man. Don't be that kind of guy, and we won't have a problem. Okay? Glad we're clear. Cosplay Cal asks, I want to get back into the dating scene. Do you have any advice or tips that could help? Don't. That is my real advice to you. Don't focus on you right now. But if you want some dating advice anyway, then I would tell you to really get to know the person before deciding you want a relationship with them. You never really know anybody, and it takes a while of being in someone's presence to get to know the real them. And I think a lot of people get into relationships before their partner's true colors come out, and I think that's why a lot of relationships fail, because they didn't really know that person long enough to know what they were really like. So my advice would be to get to know somebody for a while before you dive into a romantic relationship. Benjamin Bain says, no question, just wanted to say I love that you stand up for what you believe in and don't back down. More people need to do that. And I say that and I acknowledge that that means even people who have opposing opinions on my political beliefs and other beliefs will take that and not back down. But they already are. More people like me need to be this way. A bulimic dog asks, do you prefer a window or an aisle seat? I think it depends on how long the flight is. If it's a long flight, aisle. If it's a relatively short flight, I would say window seat. But honestly, I would prefer having the entire row to myself so I can switch back and forth. I know that's kind of greedy, but you know, you can't tell me that if you've ever been on a plane and no one showed up, it was just you in the row, that you wouldn't be happy. Exactly. Don't judge me. Yeah. Mothra Jenkins. No question, just a sincere compliment. You seem like an awesome person to spend time with. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Alien X Gaming 69. Were you ever bullied? Did you let it go or get revenge? Yes. I live in Missouri. I was born and raised here, and I look like this. You think that I didn't get bullied? I got bullied almost every fucking day, especially in high school. I say especially. It was pretty bad in middle school too, actually. Did I get revenge? Yes, I got revenge. Look at me. I'm successful. Most of the people that bullied me are not. No, in fact, I'm sure they're watching this video or my other content and loathing it. That's my revenge. Drew. What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? Ooh, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I have always wanted to get fangs, and I've always wanted to point my ears. I obviously have not done either of those, but it's been in my head for a while. Not gonna lie. Blue Boxman 89 asks, what is the second biggest thing that you've accomplished after your kid that you're most proud of? I could say some basic things like getting my bachelor's degree, buying my house, having a car, buying my own car, doing all of this on my own. But what I'm gonna say is breaking away from the toxic family that I was born into. I didn't have a lot of resources. We were very poor. That's probably another reason that I got bullied a lot. But you also can't help who you're related to, and I think that also had something to do with it. However, given the shitty deck that I had, the fact that I've been able to make this life out of it is nothing short of a miracle due to hard work. There are a lot of people that work hard that never get this far, and that's not their fault. That's just the way the world is. So I would say breaking away from my toxic family and all of their bad habits. Why do you guys do this to me with these names? Havocosiris888 asks, if Maiden Mafia existed in Marvel or DC, who would they each be? I would say Kendra would be Captain America. 'Cause that ass. I'm so sorry, Kendra, forgive me. Oh boy, okay. Kendra is America's ass. Captain America. Haley is Hawkeye. Queen is Black Widow. Wheezy is Spider-Man, and I am Catwoman. Absolutely. Do you disagree? Who would you pick for what role? I'm curious if we have the same opinions. Let me know. Oliver T87 says, I don't know a lot about you. Just started following you for the puns I've seen. Can you do more puns? Absolutely. Stay tuned. Literally. Just check my socials. I've probably already posted one again. Moon Synergy X says, not a question, but just to let you know that you have a big fan in Portugal. I appreciate that. It really astounds me how many people all over the world in different countries follow me and enjoy my content. I appreciate every single one of you, truly. Alexander Silvis asks, what's a game you wish you had gotten into but didn't? Literally name any decent first-person shooter. That is the answer. Yes, I'm terrible at them. I could say it's probably because of my blind eye is like depth perception. I've never played it on a PC, it could be different, but in my experience, I'm not very good at them, to be fair. Real weapons, I can handle. It seems like there's an issue when I'm trying to do a first-person shooter game, though, for whatever reason. Pilon David asks, what is the most beautiful place you've ever visited, and what's your dream place to visit someday? The most beautiful place I've ever visited, I would have to say, is Cuba. It's gorgeous. It honestly is so gorgeous there. What's the dream place I want to visit would have to be Dracula's castle. I want to go to Romania. I want to visit Vlad the Impaler. I want to visit his grave. I want to see what kind of mark he left on the world in person. I did a lot of research into him when I was younger. I don't know, I think it just fascinated me how interesting his life was. I know a lot of random facts about him and Elizabeth Bathory. Don't ask me why, I was that weird kid. But yes, I am kind of a history buff, so I think that would be something really interesting to experience in person. Alexander Silvis asks, thoughts on musicals? Yes. The answer is yes. Yes, love them. Absolutely. Colton Lee Morse asks, ever thought about participating in Comic-Cons or getting into cosplay? Tell me you're new here without telling me you're new here. Hey, hello, welcome to my page, my channel, my content. I do cosplay. No, it's not the majority of my content, but I do cosplay. I go to Comic-Con every year and I do like to dress up in different character outfits. So yes, I do costume play. Mike Wason asks, one food you don't like. One? Okay, basic. Onions. Raw onions especially. If they're caramelized, I can deal with it. I do not like the texture paired with the taste of raw onions. I can't believe anybody does. Tell me your palate's blown without telling me your palate's blown. Woo! No thanks. Hipparchia Cynic asks, can you cosplay Jack from Mass Effect? I feel like that would be a perfect cosplay for you. You know, I haven't cosplayed Jack from Mass Effect, but I've gotten that comment a lot, so I'm gonna have to put it on my list. Alexander Silvis asks again, time and money, no object. What hobbies would you love to pick up? Archery, for sure. Ooh, I would also love to pick up playing the piano or the violin. I think those are both very elegant instruments. I'm stuck over here with the clarinet. But yes, I think that those things would be very fulfilling to me. What would you pick? Now I'm curious. What would you pick? Tell me. Yeah, tell me. Troy Siebenailer. I did not say that right. But we're gonna move on. Thoughts on femdom and various fetishes. You realize I'm putting your username in this video, right? Right, that's kind of why I warned you all about the questions that your username was gonna be included so we could avoid questions like this. I will say, I don't kink shame. I don't kink judge. I do kink ask why. Why? I take that back. I do kink shame if it's causing harm to other people that is non-consensual. So other than that, I don't kink shame. I do kink ask why because I'm curious. Other than that, it's not my business what you do. Troy, at it again. Would you ever be a key holder for a male in chastity? No, not for free, especially in this economy, but probably not even if you paid me. No. Angel Hazard says, if there will be a Mass Effect movie, you should play Jack. Here we go again. I agree. Why are you telling me that? Go tell the producers that. Go tell the video game makers that. Tag them. Let them know. I would love to do that. Absolutely. The answer is yes. Yes, absolutely. Edgar Allan Pond asks, do you believe in ghosts? And why or why not? I wouldn't say I believe in them specifically. I do think that after we die, we have energy, and I'm not really sure where that goes. Also, there are things that I can't explain with science at the moment. So that would lead me to believe that there is a possibility. I don't want to act like I know everything in the universe. I do believe in energy, and I do believe that people have energy and it has to go somewhere after you pass physically. So I'm just gonna leave this question at that. All right, that is the last question for this round. If you have any others, do not worry. We will be doing this again if you liked this one, of course. If not, that's fine. I guess we don't have to do it ever again. Psych, we're probably gonna do it again. I have had a great time answering your questions. I think that it's really interesting to see what you all come up with, and it's kind of fun interacting with my community this way. Like I said, don't worry, I will have another question thing on my Instagram. Go check it out, follow me so you don't miss the next one. If you have a question you've been dying to ask, just wait. You'll get your chance, okay? No rush, no worries, no problem, we're good. Anyway, until next time, I love you. Stay reckless.